Okay, if memory serves me correctly, if memory serves me correctly, the Sony 3500, Alpha 3500 came out in 2016, I think 2015, 2016. It is great as an entry level camera for both photography and videography. It really is. It allows you to have a really good peek at what the big Sony cameras do, and allows you to do that without having to fork out the kind of money that people usually associate with Sony mirrorless cameras. I use this camera primarily for shooting video, primarily for shooting YouTube videos, so social media and things like that. So in a sense, it's been really good for that. I haven't had to record 4K footage with my main camera. This has been my main camera for the last couple of years. There's no need for me to shoot 4K footage. In fact, the onset of 4K in my own sort of experience didn't happen until I got into action cameras and drones, really, and in mobile phones. 4K at that sort of with those sorts of with that sort of equipment came at a pretty good price point. So, you know, my GoPro is a Hero 4, and that has 4K. Same with my iPhone. I have a 360 VR camera, a 360 Fly, and that's got 4K as well, plus the ability to shoot at a pretty high frame rate. I think it goes up to 120 frames in 4K. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I believe it does. I can shoot 120 frames on my iPhone, but not at 4K resolution. And with the GoPro, I tend to keep that at 24 frames. You can go up to 30, but I keep it at 24, just to make things nice and simple. I haven't really got into 4K that much because I haven't really had to use it. I think when the time comes for me to do professional work, I will be converting a lot of my things into that format. I'll be using 4K for a main camera, probably getting another Sony Alpha mirrorless camera, but a much more expensive professional camera. Yeah. Let's adjust that. There was a point, maybe a month or two ago, when I was producing and making videos, a vlog. I was working on a secret vlog, but the thing was, I was coming up with an episode pretty much on a daily basis. I set myself that goal to become a daily vlogger, and for about a year, I reckon about a year, I did that. Every day I would, depending on what time I woke up, pick up the camera and start shooting for the day's episode. Could be really random stuff, or sometimes it could be really planned, but it was pretty much what consumed me for a whole year. I was doing that. I was heavily influenced by what's going on with vlogging and with YouTube. At the moment, I find it very inspirational. A lot of the creators that I see these days are really amazing creators, and I sort of want to become of that ilk. I want to do the same sort of things. So I would look at what they were using and what they were doing, and trying to work out the philosophies of their filmmaking. I found that there's a lot more to it than first meets the eye. The last couple of months I will say I have stopped pretty much doing it daily. I've still been making films daily, shooting footage daily, but I have for the last couple of months been screwing around with 4K and screwing around with aerial photography and videography. Why? Well, the idea is within the next year or so I will have stocked up on the knowledge and the skills, and one of those skills that I really wanted to have is to be an awesome pilot, a drone pilot. Why, do you ask? Should I want to do that? Or why would I spend so much time and effort in doing that, and money? It's because besides the fact that I want to be a filmmaker in the more classical sense, like I want to make short films, you know, that kind of, the kind of independent filmmaker. I also think there's a lot of value in having a 9-to-5 kind of job, and a 9-to-5 kind of job that I thought I might be well suited for, considering my difficulties with society in general and with people in general, and with sharing my toys and playing nicely with other kids. The thing that I think I might be able to do quite well enough so I could do it professionally, would be to be something like a real estate videographer, or a wedding videographer, an events videographer. Those people exist, and those people get to fly their drones around, and they get to have professional equipment, camera equipment, and sometimes they get to travel, sometimes they get to do exciting things, and they don't really, they're not the center of it all. They're like flying around the proverbial shit, capturing whatever's going on, and that's just perfect for this little fly here. So I do think that after another year of buying whatever equipment I think I might need, another year of piloting my drone on a daily basis, so as I become a much better drone pilot, another year of editing on the software that I'm editing on, and getting much better at it. I'm pretty good now. I'm a bit of a maestro with Fly Blade. I'm pretty good at it, but I think I could become better. And a little bit more about the philosophy of being a human being. I can start working on all those things, and maybe in a year's time I'll be ready to enter the workforce as a self-employed videographer. Okay, taking notes. Like I said, I'm planning on doing this short documentary. So, look, I find it really difficult still to talk in front of the camera, although I've been vlogging for like a year or so. When I go and write something and then have to read it out and make it sound natural, I kind of get shy. It's kind of really hard to do, but I'll give it a go, because this is what I thought I would use, something similar to this for an introductory narrative in this movie that I'm making, this film that I'm making. So it's either I'm writing out a plan for either or either something else. It's a plan for a drone documentary, a short doco about living in this particular area, or about flying drones in this area. I don't know, or it could be about both things. It could be two films. So I just jotted down a film. A story must have certain essential parts, for it to work. The first thing any film needs, any story needs, is a narrative, which means you need a beginning, you need a middle, and you need an end. So I'm kind of just trying to brainstorm, trying to work out what that actually means and what that looks like. Then I made one of the other things that you really need is equipment too, so I'm sure there's a whole bunch of other really essential parts to making a film, like crew, like actors or people in it, I don't know. But for this, when I write equipment, I mean like having a pretty good drone. I might just use the Bebop 2 Power, or I might use one of my Phantom drones. But hopefully when it comes to making a proper short film where there's a lot of monetary investment into something, I might have a like a DJI inspired by the main cameras they use are not DSLRs, they're mirrorless cameras, which are very, very similar. I also use a lot of stabilizers. Whatever camera I use, I think I should try to stabilize that. Right now I'm on a tripod. I've always said I would end up working in the arts. When I was young, maybe I thought I was going to be a musician or an artist, some kind of postmodern poet. I considered myself to be a creative individual, a creative child, and when I moved on to my adolescence, that sense of being a creative being just grew even more. Now there's a big period of time between my adolescence and now, but now I'm in my mind, at least in my mind, in my 40s, I think my time has rather unexpectedly arrived. Now I've had some good years and I've had some lean years. The important thing throughout it all, and despite everything, the important thing I think is that I'm still here, still creating, and now I'm positively starving to sink my teeth into something, some project that will give the next 2 to 5 years or whatever, I don't know how long, some real meaning. I dedicate the rest of my creative life towards this passion, towards filmmaking in whatever form that comes in. Yes, and I raise a fist to creativity, to the creative spirit in all of us, conscious and evolving beings. As beings which are sometimes winning, sometimes losing. A big, bold fist to life, to living, to really living, to experiencing every breath rather than simply existing. To love.